Hello, looks like we're back again. Just getting set back up into the league tables and things like that. What have I missed? There's been a couple of goals in the Gamba game. Look here. Yuma Suzuki after Kusuke Onos. Right, let's bring it back up on my phone, make sure we're all good. There we go. So it looks like we're back in action. I'll just have to wait and hope everybody comes back because that was a wee bit of fun. That's not so good. Yeah, I just trying to get. There we go. Good. We're starting to get folk back in. Really sorry about that. I got up to go and have a look at trying to get the TV set up, and I turned round and Windows had done an update, which was particularly unappealing. But here we go. We're back in action anyway. So yeah, no, a few early goals. Quite a few 0-0 still sitting on the board there though. Yeah, I think Gamba seem to definitely have been one that have been hit. You know, with the COVID bug, missing a few players. Let's go a wee nosy back in, see what's happening statistic wise. 6 shots, 3 on target, 3 off target. How's that getting shared out amongst the lads? Fikamori on a 7.1, that looks quite promising. Where's he? 3 tackles, 5 ground duels. As I say, I wonder what they're actually going to count for that. Let's have a look. Oh, he's on a healthy amount at the minute. 52.4. And I've got him captained, so he's sitting with 67 points from me at the moment. They've counted 3 tackles, which is remarkable. They never seem to do that. And 5 duels won, which is what he's got, 5 out of 5. He's lost possession 10 times and he's still got a score of 52. The defensive point loss is massive, really, isn't it? It's for a misplaced pass or anything like that, it is a lot. Look at the heat map. Absolutely right about Takanori. I mean, look at his heat map. It's almost up to the centre circle. Yeah, I mean that right enough with Gamba last season. They had all kinds of problems early doors, didn't they? Because they were sitting in the relegation zone for a long time, and it was with like a huge number of games in hand, and they eventually caught them back up. Yeah, that heat map is quite something for the goalkeeper to be up at the halfway line, basically. For most of the half. I just want him to keep that clean sheet. I really need him to keep that clean sheet. That'd be monstrously huge, especially missing a player. But yeah, I think quite disappointing to have lost the stream. I hope everybody comes back in. See, again, it's just teething problems, so apologies. Let's put the stream back live. Still pitch black outside yet, so there's no real scope for firing it back out in the balcony yet. We'll get there though. Cheers, Rascal. Yeah, no, I was saying Windows update at the most inopportune time, and it was obviously just as soon as I walked away from the laptop and wasn't looking at it, that something like that would definitely happen. But let's go back around the ground. So we'll start from the top and work our way down. Oh, it looks like Shimizu have just equalised. I was just talking about keeping that clean sheet and how important it would be. Oh, has it been disallowed? Has it gone on? Because it just went back to 0. Look at that. They've had nothing of the ball. One chance and it's a goal. It looks like, is it Suzuki that's got the goal possibly? Has it been disallowed? Off the bar for Antlers. I really hope the Espas goal has been disallowed, because that would be a penalty to Sapporo. God, that escalated quickly. So let's have a Patrick red card. Good God, it's all kicking off. It is all kicking off. Oh, it was a missed penalty. Oh, who was on that? Don't tell me it was Fukumori that's missed that penalty. Missed penalty is not as devastating as a lost score as some. Let's refresh the page. Do we know who's missed the penalty? That's the big question. I believe they're usually one of the teams that's winner takes it. I'm not seeing anything on there for that. Let's have a look. We'll go back in the chat. Lucas Fernandez took it. Okay, yeah, Patrick red card. Gone to penalty save. Wow, this is all kicking off. We came back on right at the right time, didn't we? Go in here and have a wee nosy. That just shows how massive that could be, to be sat 45th at the minute with this hanging over it. Never know. Could come off the bench, especially after a missed penalty. Alright, back to the important stuff, guys. So, we're going to go around the grounds, weren't we? So, who's our reporter at Avispa, Fukuoka and Jubilo? Let's have a look. We have a goal, and this time, is it going to stand? It's Yokohama 0, Sarazo Osaka 1, and let's see if it stands this time. Yeah, showing a goal, and that looks massively against the run of play. But if I'm right in thinking, wasn't there one disallowed there earlier? I think there was. Keeper has dropped down significantly as he had an error. Or just because he's done nothing? Just because he's had no. This is one of the things sometimes when a goalkeeper's had nothing to do and all of a sudden, there we go. Shindo with a goal. Harakawa. There you go. An assist. So there you go. We've got two decisives there. Hopefully keeping somebody happy. But yeah, look at that. That's massively against the run of play there. Saka with the red. That could be trouble for them. It could be real trouble for them. So it says violent conduct. So Rascal, you are obviously a match reporter there, saying had no clue how that's a red. What happened? Let's see what happened there. We'll look at Kyoto again. Fairly even game, but it looks of things. On the surface certainly. Statistics, almost the same number of shots, slightly uneven possession, but I mean that's pretty good at going up against a big team like Urawa. Definitely going up against a big team there. Hiroshima's, God, it's all Sagantoso in that game. All Sagantoso in that game. And you'd like to think, your opening day. There we go. Suzuki and Patrick in the tangle. Suzuki holding on his leg, simulates a lash out to the face. God, there we go. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than the old my face. Well, there is something worse. I discussed it yesterday on the page about kids bringing banners asking for jerseys. Hate that. Hate that with a passion. But yeah, no, that's there's nothing you hate to see more than especially as a neutral. If it's your own player, you can kind of curse at it and what have you, but you can accept it because it's your own player. But geez, just you know what, play the game. Just get on and play the frigging game. There's just no point in that, eh? Quite a good looking set of stats at the minute for Kaneko as well. Shot off target, 2 key passes, 7.0. Fukumori there sitting on a 7.3. Highest rating there. If you hear that noise in the background, there's a air freshener thing in this apartment and it goes off all the time. So it's now 7:15 local time here in Spain. So I am cracking on with the rest of this can of monster. Let's have a wee look at our final game, Jubilo. Yeah, they had the early pressure. Vispa have come back into it. Still 0-0 though. Stats wise, what we're looking at 60-40, so they've still got more possession. 2 shots just haven't really made any impact with those at the minute. It's kind of gone all quiet right on the half. A couple of minutes to half time everywhere. So we'll soon be getting the 2 7 o'clock kickoffs my time, 6 o'clock UK time. We've got Nagoya and then we'll also Nagoya Visa. That's probably the big game, isn't it, of the weekend? And then Shonan Belmare against Kashiwa Reysol as well. So that'll be quite interesting to see how all that looks. Just going back into Sorare data just now, just on the app to see what scores are looking like. 2.02 points outside the cards as it stands. Fukumori getting me 76.5 points at the minute. Half time in the Junbok Suwon game, 0-0. If anybody's looking for the K League, it's the only game live at the moment. There's only another 2 games later on. Yeah, no, I think I'm hoping that once I'm back home, if I can do this again going forward, I'm like, what day are the games on next weekend? Is it another Saturday morning? Because that could be troublesome because I do work Saturdays. But let me see. I can always message the boss if you're watching, Paul. Try and make sure I don't get too an early start. Matches, let's have a look. Oh no, it's the wrong thing. So let's have a look. There we go. So next weekend, the games are predominantly all on the Saturday as well. Staggered times as well. So might have to see what I could do with that. 5 a.m, 6 a.m. I could probably get away with that, to be honest. I could probably get away with doing that next week. So we will see. I'll try and do as much of this as I can. but I can't really do it at the detriment to what actually pays the bills. So half time starting to come in now. That's the first one, first couple coming in there. Yokohama 0, Cerezo Osaka 1, Hiroshima 0, Sagantosu 0. I'm going to go around the grounds and have a look and see who's the highest rated player at the moment in terms of score ratings. We've got our highest one here is what? Yamagashi. If I just click on details, it should tell us here. So we've got Growley and we've got Endo, the two top performers in this game. Fukumori on a 7.4. Gonda with his penalty save, sitting on a nice 7.1. So despite conceding, he is going to have a decisive against him for saving the penalty. So, the clean sheet might have gone, but the penalty save is there. Fairly uneventful in Hiroshima, 7.0 and a 6.9. And then we're looking at Kyoto and Urawa, 7.1, 7.3. That's just gone half time as well. Gamba, 7.1, and Suzuki's on a 7.8. That's pretty solid. He has got a goal in the game. Let's have a look at his game, because the 7.8 is worth having a wee nosy at, I would say. Striker's doing the business there, and then obviously midfielders chipping in with the assists. 1 goal, 1 shot on target, 1 blocked, 31 touches for a forward. That's pretty tidy. 5 key passes. That is, no wonder he's on a 7.8. He's got to be on a very, very handsome score, I would imagine. Heat map, he's been everywhere, eh? So let's have a wee nosy just before we go any further. Let's see what he's sitting on. Yama Suzuki. 77 he is on at the moment. That's fairly tidy, fairly rewarding from a first half. It's a card that's got to be worth a fair few bob, isn't it? Oh, 0.7. I'd be expecting 77 from him by half time for that sort of price. But yeah, so we've got we've done that one. So let's have a look further on. 7.2, 7.8 for Shindo. So let's have a look at Shindo. So that's for 2 highest. We've got 2 7.8s in the first half. It's a left back as well. So he's got a goal, 3 clearances, 2 block shots, 1 interception, 1 ground duel, 1, and 1 shot on target. That 7.8 is awful kind, I would say. In comparison to Suzuki, it's a very kind one. God, guys, you're just looking at the top of my bald head. It's actually quite burnt. So I'll just adjust that a wee bit. Fair old reflection from that lamp. Maybe I shouldn't have put it on. But yeah, we're looking pretty tidy. So that's our first half. My lineup as it stands, 92nd, it's 213.59. Like I say, it's really hanging over me, that DNP now. Had I been brave and gambled on picking up Kuroki when I looked at him the other day whilst I was sitting, or I did seriously contemplate it, didn't go with it. But hey ho, you can't look back. You just have to kind of roll with the punches, don't you? So I think Sugar, he should come on at some point. Although Fernandez has got the goal, you could easily see him come on for the likes of, push further forward as well. So all is not lost. How are we looking for you guys' teams? I know they've obviously been fairly decimated. Do you look at the live scores on? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I use the app to keep up to date because the positions update more so than they do actually on the Sorare website. Um, so that tends to be where I, will have a look at my current scores. It just seems to be more accurate and more real time. I think recently I'm going to do a video when I get home, and there's obviously been a fair bit of criticism of Sorare in the last week. Um, I try to play it as neutral as possible. I try not to be overly negative. I try not to be, I do try to be fairly straightforward with it. I mean, it's made me a lot of money. It's made me be able to be on this holiday that I'm on just now. But I do believe that things will right themselves. I wish there'd be more communication about a lot of things. But yeah, I'm going to do a video when I get back about talking about the Sorare side of things. From that perspective, I did chip in this week about the prize pools being what I thought was very poor. There was obviously a big uproar last weekend with the under 23 pool, and it happened again this week. Hard to justify. It really is hard to justify. It's hard. It's actually made me really contemplate where I'm at with the game as well. I don't see the point. So yeah, look, it's showing me his 41st here when I'm further down than that. Because it's just gone half time, so scores are starting to show a zero for some of them. So yeah, I'm not 41st, unfortunately. But yeah, it really does. Is it worth running these teams in? I've got three teams. I've got my challenger team there, as you can see. I've got the All Star team. And is it worth running three teams like that? Because that's a lot of money tied up in those three teams for prize pools. Like Asia's only got 100 prizes, and I can't fathom how that could only have 100 prizes. With both K and J Leagues being back. Challenger Europe does have 275, I think. But with the more, they have been doing this, alleged dynamic situation, but they, I don't know. I'll discuss it in further detail when I get to it. But I don't think they can justify the small prize pools when the game. I think this week there's over 16,000 in All Star, and I don't think you can justify that. I don't think you can justify such small prize pools. You can for All Star because of the thresholds, absolutely. I don't think the prize pool needs to be necessarily increased dramatically in there. But the individual leagues where there isn't a threshold, the likes of an Asia or a Challenger Europe, a Champion Europe, all those kind of things, especially under 23s, I don't think it's justifiable what the prize pools are sat at. So I'll have a proper rant about that. So let's have a look at some of these teams here. So we have got managed to get my Suzuki. Yeah, that's good job, Bruco, on that one. God, if he's four times what you paid for him, that's a hell of a pickup. Shindo centre back. Sofa score lineups as always. Yep, they are. They could be all over the place. This is the thing I like looking at, is when you can see the heat map and you can actually see where they're playing. So as we've discussed, this is all over the shop. Fukumori, you know, one of the back three, but he's effectively almost playing as a wing back. But you can see the dots at the corners from where he's been taking, those kind of things. Let's have a look here. Threshold team gone unless Sugar gets a decisive. I could see it. Definitely could see him coming on in the second half and making an impact like that. So I'm very hopeful that'll happen as well, because it would, if he came on and got a decisive and they keep their clean sheet, I'd surely have to be in with a shout of the cards. Let's see where we're going down now. Bruco, Gashiguchi, that's really harsh with the DNPs, but you could still get the lower threshold surely with those scores coming in. What's that, 92, 100, 170, not far away. All you really need is like a Kaneko decisive or something like that to see you through, or Fukumori getting something, maybe even better, Fukumori corner for a Kaneko goal. Boom, there you go. That's your decisives sorted out there. Champ Asia, play tomorrow. Yuma Suzuki, I'm so lucky to have him. And Yamaguchi starting at 6. Okay, perfect. Good luck with that one. They have dynamic roars, but they still have power. Yeah, absolutely. And I totally agree. Rascal. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. This is why I really need to have the two screens here rather than having to try and read off my phone at the same time, because you guys are just looking at my head. It looks like I'm stationary. To get a clean sheet, it'd be another reward. Pretty close. To be honest, I'm not going to lie when it comes to. I think you can possibly ask a Rascal there. I know nothing of the K League. It takes me all my time to find stuff for the J League. They're adding in another Asian league that I'm going to have to fully research. So that's why I've tried to keep into certain areas. It's just one that not for any other reason. I just don't know enough to look. But yeah, so that's looking quite an interesting first half. Yokohama behind despite being clearly the dominant side. Let's have a look at Shindo's heat map. Oh, there's the big man. How we doing? How we doing, Moldy? Yeah, the holiday's been phenomenal. Ate like a king, lived like a king. It's genuinely been absolutely amazing. Um, we got here last Sunday night. The apartment turned out to be just something else. It really, really is. I did the walk around video. But yeah, no, it's been absolutely epic. The weather's been phenomenal. Been in mid 20s every day. Um, I'm drinking a can of Monster. I did genuinely contemplate picking up a couple of beers for the game, but I don't think you could justify a beer at 7 o'clock. So well, you could, but I've not. I've actually only had two beers the whole week because Louise can't drink. I didn't think it was fair for me to sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. I didn't think that was fair or whatever. So I've only had two beers. I had them both yesterday. One with my evening meal and one in the sunshine in the afternoon. And I got the one in the afternoon purely so I could post a picture of it and send it back home to one of my colleagues who was out working in the snow and everything yesterday, whilst I was sat in 25-degree heat. So, but no, it's been phenomenal. We went to Malaga. That was quite something to see. I would definitely. I mean, I'm Scottish, but it's not one of those ones on with the titties at 6 a.m. But no, went to Malaga. Got the young lad the Malaga away top, which is pretty mint. I got Louise bought me it was a really nice white training top for Malaga. Really happy with that. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's the first time I went to Malaga. My family used to come here. My mum's uncle had an apartment up in the old town, and we used to come here when I was kids, and always loved it here. I want to live here, to be 100% honest, but that might be something down the line. That might be a retirement project. I just love it. I mean, like middle of February, and it's sitting. They did say it's unseasonably warm. It's sitting in the mid 20s. They're saying it's kind of really it's about May temperatures, but we're getting them in February. So I'm yeah I would love to be here. The last time I went home from here in 2019, it was I had major holiday blues. First time I've ever had them, and I went away and I was like, right, okay, my bus license. How can I use my bus license in Spain? Can I transfer it over? Can I do all this? And it turns out I can. So it was like, right, business plans, formulating ideas of how I can go and move here and not have to, not actively choose to live in a freezing cold climate, but home's home. It's one of those things. But at least this time, when me and Louise were talking about that yesterday, when we came back from Berlin in December 2019, we were supposed to be going away to Lanzarote in the February and then Jamaica in the summer, and we didn't get to either. Um, Obviously, the Lanzarote one was uh, that was Thomas Cook, and they went bust, so we had to get that one refunded. And then Jamaica we didn't get because of COVID, and then we've not been on holiday since. So we had that whole thing where, like, we didn't know when we'd get away on holiday again. Whereas now we know that because Louise is pregnant, and once the baby's here, we wouldn't want to go away till the baby was, depending on how things are. If they're a good settled kid, we could possibly look at going away maybe 2 years time. So that'd be like when the baby's like 18 months. But until then, at least now we know this is our last foreign holiday for a little bit. So we've really made the most of it. So it's been awesome. Bruco, if you've ever tried Buckfast, you will understand why I will never drink it again. I tried it one time and it tasted like that Cavonia cough medicine. Absolutely vile. I don't know how people could drink it. I really don't. We bought it as a joke from one of the shops one time, and man alive, it was hideous. I hated it, hated it, hated it. Not sure if that disqualifies me as Scottish, but it's it's one that I definitely, you know, uh, I'm not sure if I could get away with that. So games are all kicking off again. Let's have a look and see if there's been any substitutions throughout the games. So Yokohama and Cerezo Osaka have kicked off, and it's still 1-0. So I was just checking outside, and it's 7:05. It's absolutely pitch black, but come 8 o'clock, it will be daylight. I'm hoping maybe even by halfway through the game, the halfway through the second half, I might be able to get on the balcony as the sun's coming up, which I think would be a nice one for viewing wise. So um, Jinbak and Suwon starting strong. Let's have a look. See, that'd be really handy, Milton. We were talking earlier on that we were going to see. We were talking about having reporters at each game, so somebody that's watching each game, and we could throw to them when something happens and get the updates for it. So it's really a working project, a working process. So that you might be where man in Korea. Yeah, Gamba. One substitution here. We've got Yamame coming in. I wonder if that's trying to counteract the Patrick red card. Kyoto. We have a goal. We have a goal. We have a goal. Or do we have a disallowed goal? There was two vibrations there. No, that was just telling me the other second half started. So we've got a goal for Kashima Antlers. And we were just looking at the game there. Could be a bloodbath here. If this is Yuma Suzuki again, Baruko, I might have to. Oh no, it's a score correction. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. It's not been either. It's been disallowed, offside. Oh, was it your boy again? Because if it was, I was contemplating blocking you in the chat. So let's have a wee look. Continue on. See if there's been any more substitutions. Oops, I don't want to do that. No substitutions there. Rawa. No, it does not. There's been any substitutions there. Have a look in here. Nope, no substitutions, no activity whatsoever. We do have a substitution. We've got Kolole coming in for Nakayama in the for Shimizu. He got the assist, did he? Good God. If that had been allowed, I think this could be a bloodbath because that could easily be 100 score if he, especially against 10 men, and they were already well on top by the looks of things. So Shimizu have started the second half with a wee bit of pressure by the looks of it, but not a huge amount, but they are on top. No substitutions in that game either, so we've only got a couple of substitutions throughout the grounds. I apologise for sitting here with my phone in my hand. It's the only way I can get the chat up, as I mentioned. I'm conscious that I keep looking down. But what do we think of the setup, though? Does the setup look okay? We have a goal. We have a goal. Let's interrupt that, and we will go straight to Kyoto. And we will find out who it's the hosts that have got the goal. Should it stand? But it's Kyoto 1, Urawa 0. Unfortunately, it's not bringing up the heat maps or anything like that to show. Not the heat maps. The positions coming up to show who's done what. I literally just clicked straight on the same player twice there. It's Peter Utaka that's got the goal. Peter Utaka. That name is rings a bell. He used to play in English football, did he not? Or is he just am I remembering him from Football Manager days? Utaka, Peter Utaka. Possibly making this up. I think he must have been from Football Manager days or something like that. Yeah, he's got the goal. He's got the opening goal of their season. Could be huge. I mean, that again, as I said, against a team like Urawa, that's a massive, massive scoreline. If you're coming up from the lower league and you're getting the lead against a team like Urawa, then that's now we're getting a wee refresh. That's interesting. I'm hoping for a vibration on my phone to tell me that. Look at Fukumori, he's gone up to 7.5 now. I'm waiting for a wee vibration on my phone to tell me that Daki Suga's been substituted in. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Fukumori's scores are going through the roof. 67.9 is his base score, 32.9 all around score, 5 tackles won for 15 points, 9 duels won, 2 interceptions. So he's got a triple double at the moment, 1 more interception, and he's on a triple, which is massive. You could be looking at 100 score for him as well, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, that's. I really, really need Daiki Sugar to come on. VAR is useless. Patrick red card for those interested in seeing how awful Suzuki is. Yes, I think we'll agree. I just can't believe the price that he came up at on there. But if you got just some of the prices, I just look at it. I think people get lost in what money really is. We have an equaliser by the looks of things for Urawa. There we go. Notifications come up on my phone after the website. Interestingly enough, let's see what's happened here. If they have, they've obviously reacted quite quickly. Score correction. It is 1-0 still to Kyoto. Interesting. I'm sure that when my alarm's been going off during the week, it's actually been daylight by about this time. I'm obviously imagining it absolutely pitch black outside still. But yeah, this is. I'm actually quite enjoying this. I know there's quite a lot of downtime in it. It is the middle of the night. Middle of the morning now, I suppose. 7 o'clock here, 6 o'clock back home. So I really appreciate everybody who's come on and is taking part in this. It's hugely appreciated, and I'm really glad that we're having a bit of fun with this as well. We're all in this for the same thing. We're all following a league that is not native to any of us, and we're just football fans, and we're also Sorare fans. So it's I really do enjoy it all. So I forgot this. The late kickoffs are already in action as well now. So we are final games of the weekend. Yeah, final games of the weekend. So they've kicked off as well. So the Nagoya game is underway. Let's have a look at the lineups there. Leo Silva, God, man, 6.4. What have you done? Nothing. 3 touches, 2 accurate passes, 1 long ball, 2 decisives, missed, and a foul. Interception, been dribbled past. That dribble past is always a fun one to look at. But yeah, no, that's. I wonder what his price is sitting at. I'm just going to have a wee nosy on some of this stuff just because, like I say, I picked him up for peanuts. And he'd already increased. And again, like I say, that's. Yeah, what's working. Do you know what? I wish I could be sitting watching the games just now. My plan was. No, we'd never. Would I have thought a year ago now when, like, before I was actually involved with Sorare, I missed penalty for Yokohama Marinos. Uh, yeah, a year ago when I mean, my account was created on the 22nd there, the 22nd of February, and that was purely to appease my mate who was on at me and kept going on about this thing called Sorare, and I ended up getting involved and I didn't deposit until the end of March, but I would not have thought a year later that I'd be sitting in a foreign country on holiday with money that's been made entirely from Sorare, and being able to just afford things that I wasn't able to afford before, without saving. You'd have to save and do these things, but being able to just do it out of the blue. And sitting with a YouTube channel that's got over 1,100 subscribers on it, to have Twitter that's almost at 5,000 follows and all this stuff. It's just been awesome, eh? So what it's afforded, people have become friends with online and things like that through this. It's just been phenomenal. I love it. I do love it. Could it be better? Absolutely, but yeah. So I mean, like I say, picked him up for 30 quid. Cheapest one in the market, 70. So that'd be a quick flip for a wee bit of money. He's one that I'm going to hang on to just now though, because I think that price, although he's of a certain age, he could certainly prove his worth. 7.8. He must have got that third interception. Let's have a wee look at him. Lineups. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wee flick around the grounds and just see whose scores are on what. 3 saves now for Segeno. 3 from inside the box. That's 7.4 rating. That's quite handsome. 7.8. This guy is an absolute beast. 6 tackles, 10 duels won now. He has lost 3, but he's still on a +7. 18 lost possessions, so that's minus 18 points. He's had 3 key passes as well. And he's still on an absolutely massive score of 73.5, despite having lost the ball 18 times. So that's 18 points he's lost off that. Geez, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Triple double. He just still needs that one interception. If he gets that one interception, he is on track for a 100 score. I'm just desperate for Daiki Sugar to come on. Even for that 25 points, because that 25 points could make a monster amount of difference to whether or not we are looking at a prize or we're looking at glorious failure. I'm Scottish, so I'm fairly used to glorious failure. So we will see how that goes. Let's see where we are. Why Seki has he been subbed, is he? Yeah, he has been. County Massals come on for him. Couldn't say. I might, I'm not watching the game, so I don't know if he's maybe picked up a knock or if it is just a rotational kind of thing, which it could well be. I used to joke, and I joked with Russell as well, Scotland Sorare, that sometimes with the J League was like roulette, for DNPs. You might land one, you might not. But yeah, it's when you see substitutions early, it's people often panic. You see players suddenly getting listed for less because they've come off. 20 minutes gone. 45 minutes. You come off at half time, and people think it's the end of the world. So, what's the Gamba they're having? Yeah, sorry, Alex. Generally, don't know as to why they would have only played 45 minutes, but well, yeah. I mean, who would think he took a knock fairly on? There we go, Rascal. There you go. That's your answer for Sekigawa. So it's quite an interesting one. I mean, I think we'll have a quick float around the grounds. We'll see what the early play has been like in these games. So this is, like I say, I think this is the big game of the weekend. I can understand why it's been later kickoff. Fairly even early doors by the looks of it. Let's see what we're looking at statistic wise. No shots, so a fairly cagey opening. What's that? Better part of 20 minutes gone without a single shot in the game. So definitely a midfield tussle. Shonen and Kashiwa, bit back and forth. Have a look at the stats on that one. Even. I mean, look at the shots. They're even identical. One off target, one blocked. 50-50. So fairly even match up there so far as well. Right, let's go round. So we had Yokohama missed a penalty and all that excitement. Marcos Jr., big name to be missing a penalty. There will be a lot of boys that have got these huge cards that have lost out so far because of players that have missed from COVID, goalkeepers, starting strikers, starting defenders. There's going to be a lot. So that's why I'm desperate for Daichi Suga to come on, because I think that 25 points could make all the difference. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I'll just have to hope for a decisive from somebody. Let's look at the Gamba game. I mean, it's all Kashima, isn't it? Kashima, sorry. It's all Kashima. And there's the stats here, as you can see. Leandro Pereira's come on. Yeah, I mean, that red card's probably killed off any chance, because I mean, you can see probably up till about, probably about 30 minutes in, they were on. Oh, I'm getting a notification from our match reporter at the Consadole game. Rascal has just informed us that Daiki Shuga has indeed been substituted on. He has indeed been substituted on. I haven't had a notification come up on my phone, which is surprising. Fukai's come on for Kamai. See that Shimizu have definitely come more into the game. We'll have a goal. We'll have a goal for Avispa against the newly promoted Jubilo Iwata, and the goal scorer in the game. We'll find out in a moment. Replacing Lucas Hernandez. Yes. So that 25 points could be monstrously huge. I could do with them getting a goal. Maybe assisting a goal for Kaneko. That would work. That would definitely work. But we have the goal here for Avispa. Still waiting on a goal scorer. If I go in the lineups, I might find it out if I click on some of the names. I apologise if you, because it's quite loud. It's clearly breakfast time. My stomach is gurgling because it's empty. So if that's coming across on the mic, because it is, it is very loud. So, there we go. It's the fullback that scored. It's definitely very loud. Mijima has scored the goal. Having a pretty solid game down that line by the looks of it. 7.3 is up to now for the goal. Try to see if we've got an assist. We do. Kanamori with the assist, so that's solid. Interestingly enough, they have not they've not updated that substitution on SofaScore, which is they've got it on the actual. No, they haven't. They haven't updated that at all. Kaneko's gone down though. That's a bit disappointing. 6.9. 2 key passes, 1 shot off target, a couple of fouls. That's probably the only reason he's gone down from a 7 to a 6.9. Has the big man got his assists, his interceptions? 7.9. 6 tackles. What an absolute mammoth he is. Successful crosses and everything. Yeah, they've still not put this substitution up, which I hope they do. I hope let's have a look and see where we're sitting with Sorare data at the moment. Yeah, Sorare data I've got them on. Fukumori is sitting on an 85.7 as it stands. That's because the clean sheet bonus has gone on. Yeah, that's the one thing. It's such a jinx, isn't it? The clean sheet bonus going on early. You always feel it's a jinx just waiting to happen. But if we can get a decisive here, I would be over the moon with a decisive from one of the lads. Oh, we've got a goal. We have a goal in the Nagoya Vissel Kobe game. And it has gone to the hosts. They've gone 1-0 up. Let's see now. Who is getting this goal? For those interested, it's supposed to be 19 degrees here today, according to my phone. And when it said that on the phone, it's really been about 21, 22. The daylight's starting to break through. Kashima have their third as well. Let's have a wee look if we can see who's got the goal here. I think we can see it's one of these two. It's either Igaki. Has Igaki got it? Yep, Igaki's got it. So Inagaki with the goal. Let's look at Kashima, and Ueda looks like he's got the second. Got his second, sorry. And has Bruco's man got the assist? That is the question. Who's our man at the Antlers game that wants to tell us about the goal? Yeah, that's a big goal. That's a big goal. Araki assist for the Ueda goal. There we go. Yeah, Antlers looking very, very dominant in that game, and they're kind of dark horses for the for being one of those top sides challenging for the league, aren't they? Very strong team. Goalkeeper only has 6.3. That's probably because he's had one save and obviously conceded that one goal. His accuracy and his long kicks are the other thing, but the goal line blocks count as decisive. Yes, it does. It should do. It should be decisive. For Kobayashi. Oh, that looks like a. I told you it's a jinx. I'm fairly certain I just said it's a jinx and it went 1-0. It's gone back to 1-0 though. Has it been disallowed again? I'd love it if it was. I don't think it will be this time though. That's surely got to be. Yeah, it's 1-1 this time. I knew that was going to happen. I did say that it's an absolute jinx when those clean sheet bonuses go on. I was sitting all the way up at 22nd and I didn't want to say anything because it was I knew it was coming. Yokohama also have a goal, so we'll have a wee look there and see who's got that. They're bringing out the big guns. Elber, Anderson Lopez coming on. Yes, Yuta Suzuki that's got the goal for Shimizu, and that one is standing. So that will have wiped out a fair chunk of points there, but it's not the end of the world, I don't think. So we will see how that pans out for the rest of the game. We've got 20 minutes left in the early kickoffs, and the later games, we're obviously just about halfway through the first half. Yeah, I mean the Kobe game, the Nagoya Kobe game, it did seem when we looked at the stats that there wasn't an awful lot going on. 2 shots, 1 on target, very little possession for the home side. Kobe kind of dominant in that sense, but like you say, lots of possession, but not turning it into anything at all. So let's have a wee nosy at Sorare and see how that's damaged it. Do you know what? It has damaged it, but it's not. It's not the end of the world at all. Still sitting on 264 points. I do need something to happen. I do need a decisive, I feel. I don't think it's going to be enough. But we will see. We will see. To go into week 1 and have all your players playing is, I cannot fault that at all. It's you'd be disappointed if you're a Yoshinori Suzuki owner and you just seen why Suzuki is the goal scorer. And you looked at it and you seen it wasn't him. I mean, Sapporo could have been out of sight if they'd have scored that penalty as well, eh? But long way to go. Long way to go. Maybe I could pray for a Sugeno assist, a la the old Van Hamel assist that happened a few a few weeks ago, or a few months ago. But yeah, we're sitting. Where are we now? Yeah, but just under 20. Sun's starting to come up here. We've actually got a bit, not quite daylight. It's still dark, but it's brightening up anyway. Not the pitch black that it was. What's happening in the Twitter world? Got a couple of notifications there. Yeah, I do think it is mad that I'm sitting up at this time in the morning, recording. Recorded, but it's fun though. Got a chance there was any offers received. Had a couple of offers come through, not even close on the mark, in terms of the deals. What's the Sorare score line showing? 71st, yeah, that's what I'm showing as on the other one as well. Then is it 264? That 10 points off Tanaka, and the decisive off Sugeno, and 10 points off Fukumori. It is massive. I was on 320 odds. I knew, like, I shouldn't have looked at my score when it was sitting like that, because I just knew that the clean sheet bonus would be on, and it's always one that just kicks you right in the stones. So we've not had any action for a few minutes. Anything going on in any of the games we should be paying attention to? Did we see who the Yokohama scorer was? Let's have a look. Nakagawa. I actually looked at Nakagawa as an option as the forward. I wasn't convinced with their firepower that it's going to be somebody that plays all the time. Yeah, 7.8. So we'll go around the grounds and see what the highest ratings are at the minute. Jordi Crute for 7.4, Yamamoto 7.2, so Fukumori 7.7. See, they've really fallen out the game, haven't they? Really fallen out the game. It's probably a matter of time. Very uneventful game. Sagan, Tosu and Hiroshima. But we've got 7.2. And we have 7.4. And then here we go. Here's the big guns. We've got 2 high scoring ones in this one, don't we? We've got Ueda and Suzuki. 8.4 and 8.2. Yeah, it's one of those, like you just first week, it's hard to get a grasp on who would definitely be, where there's been exits, who's going to be that replacement, and I think we'll still have to find out a few weeks. And I mean, Yokohama last year were notorious for being the ones with a lot of rotation. I think you're kind of seeing some of that at Celtic, not as much as Ange seemed to like to do at Yokohama. But you are starting to see a fair bit of that rotation at Celtic at the moment as well. I was brightening up fairly quickly. I might not be able to get out on the balcony because it does look fairly windy out there this morning. Um, yeah, palm trees are blowing quite heavily actually, so might not get on the balcony. That's a bit disappointing. Yeah, nothing happening just now. Um, Jordi Crew's gone up a wee bit. Nothing much on the agenda. So, how is everyone's teams looking? Um, with 15 to go in the early kickoffs. It'll be interesting to see what we're looking at Saturday. Yeah, MLS. I agree with the same. It's the prices are nuts. I went and had a look yesterday at Evo BC from San Jose. It was one I was holding last year. I sold to help fund my J League team, but the prices are. I mean, even his is sitting, up in the sort of towards the point two range, and it's. I don't know. I think things will settle. I mean, the J League prices won't stay where they are. MLS definitely. I say definitely. I mean, with the influx of users, um, it may well stay the same. It may well stay the same. Oh, Shonen red card. Second yellow. I'm guessing that is that Oiwa. Bruco. We do need that. Oh, Yokohama have taken the lead against Cerezo. We'll go to that in a second. But yeah, it looks like Oiwa's been sent off. We'll go to the Yokohama game. They've turned that round late, and they have been absolutely dominant. And they've finally broken them. Anderson Lopez assist for that one. And yeah, there it is. It's just come up now. Kazuki Owa. Let's see who's got the goal in this one when it refreshes. I'm not sure if I'll be able to stay on for the second, for the late games finishing, but I'll try my best. I'm probably going to need to try and get an hour before we go and start and do things for the day. But at least if we've covered most of the games for the day, I think this has been quite fun. Quite a good experiment to see how it's worked out. That's the lineups available for the Korean games now. New cards getting minted, people getting frustrated with DMPs. Say, yeah, you're definitely right, Bruco, it will do. I think one of the things a lot of people were doing, and I mean, my DMs were full of people trying to, since maybe like October, November time, they were looking to get involved, but couldn't. We couldn't get involved because the prices in Europe were so expensive. And because of how expensive it was for them to get involved, they were starting to pick up the MLS and the J League and K League teams because they were in their down season. And it made sense to do it that way. And if those guys that have done that will have made a mint because the players are all worth a fortune just now. If they were wise, they probably would sell them and move on, and pick up somebody else. It looks like Anderson Lopez has got the goal here. But yeah, they could definitely do that. So there was a lot of new users were coming into the platform and were buying specifically for this season starting. Yeah, look at that. That's quite an impact. 12 minutes, one goal, one assist. He's turned the game around for them. Absolutely turned the game around for them. Wow. Yeah, in terms of the new mints, you're usually looking at Junebuk have got the opener in their game. I've just went full screen with this. I don't know how to change that. Come on. Oh God Almighty. Yeah, Junebuk have got the opener. They're 1-0 up against Suwon in the K League. Nice one with the new DMPs. Yeah, it's the new mints. Last year it was about April, I think it was. It was into April before the K League ones were up, and the J League one. The J League ones were then the MLS were a little bit later. But because the two seasons have started earlier, you might actually see those appear maybe next month, maybe in March. Um, so yeah, I'd probably be looking at them about then. Fukumori's jumped back up to 7.8. I'm just going to have a quick nosy and see what's happening here. I was looking at it saying, why is my video going all the way back to there? Because it's on my phone. I inadvertently went back an hour in the video. I was looking at Silva on the video and I was like, what? I was like, I'm clearly not doing that just now. Fukumori, I really need you to get that third interception for a triple. Really need that to happen. 3. Yeah, that's probably going to be my only pathway to getting a card is if he gets that third interception, gets a triple, or if I can get a decisive someplace to finish this out because I've dropped down to 97th with these extra games kicking off now, so there is no scope of getting a card unless I get a decisive in the last 10. That clean sheet really wiped it out, but also the DNP, not the DNP, the substitute appearance for Daiki has kind of hampered things as well, but hey, as I said, we'll roll. But yeah, no other goals at the minute. Nothing else to speak of. Could definitely do with a goal for Considole now though. But look at that. Sagantosu have been all over them. Still 0-0 there. What's the stats looking like for that? 61%, 8 shots to 6. Kyoto. Still 1-0 up. Fukumoto with a Kami Fukumoto, sorry. With the 8. Oh, what was that there? That's a notification on my phone there for something. It's not. Looking at the rare prices, that's yeah, it's one of those. It's with the new mints. I think it's hard. I don't think there'll be necessarily much of a dip because of the new mints, because the user base is getting bigger all the time. So even an extra 20 to 40 cards, you're still looking at 100,000 users scrambling over 240, 250 cards. So I mean, the big cards will get more expensive. I do think the big cards will get more expensive. There will still be cards that will be available to pick up and play for thresholds, and those ones might get cheaper. But I do believe the big cards will continue to increase in value, really. Just waiting on this loading, it's taking a sweet time. Yeah, Sorare showing as 81st. So we go back to the games. The big one, let's have a look, see what's happening here. Have Vissel Kobe managed a shot yet? Statistics. They have had 3 shots now. 2 off target, 1 blocked. 70% of possession to have had a little penetration with that. It's not great, is it? Sure enough, so I had to go and make a substitution there, taking off the forward to replace Oiwa. I mean, your main centre back coming off, or not? Well, one of your centre backs coming off, so you've had to sacrifice a striker for a defender. Yeah, they're looking that way in terms of pushing further forward. Last 5 in the early kickoffs though. Interesting to see if anybody can push on and break a deadlock, or just tie a game up, or see one out. Like for Kyoto, can they see that out? Avispa, are they holding on? No, they're still pretty much on top. They don't seem to be under much threat. Shimizu, they are under pressure. Fukumori up to 7.9 now. They're all Consadole are clearly pushing for the winner. Have a quick nosy. I know I've looked at Consadole quite a bit. I'll try not to do that so much in the future. I will have the 2 screens, so I'll be able to do this on my phone far more. I really need that interceptions thing to show us 3. I really need that to show us 3. 7.9 though, it's hard to complain. I mean, it has been. Has Kaneko missed something horribly? Is it a big chance missed or something? No. Giving the ball away a fair bit though. We have a vibration. He's just been subbed off, Kaneko, just as I was looking at him there. Interesting that they've obviously completely missed the substitution of Daishuga coming on. So it'd be interesting to see if he scored. Them suddenly go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. They've literally just updated it there on, as I'm talking about it, 62 minutes substituted in, and Kaneko substituted out 86. So, yeah. So that's Kaneko's day done. So we're down to 3 players that could really get a decisive. I mean, the goalkeeper could get a decisive if he saved a penalty or something, or sent up a long assist. But let's have a wee nose, just see if there's anything else going on in some of these other games. Urawa clearly pushing on. Yeah, no, he's not. He plays far better in the attacking role than he does as the wing back. You know, he really does. When he's played as an attacking midfielder, he's far more effective. You know, they've obviously went with playing Gabriel Xavier up there instead. Yeah, I think, you know, they could have had Lucas Fernandez on the right and played Daiki on the left and Kaneko up further forward, but it is what it is. See how the last few minutes play out in these games. I'm just interested to see. I mean, Yokohama are probably going to see that one out quite comfortably. What a turnaround though for Anderson Lopez coming on 12 minutes and he gets a goal and an assist off the bench. That's going to be massive for some of these scorelines, and he is quite a costly card as well. What else are we looking at here? Let's see, 0-0 almost at half time. 10 men, yeah, since it's kind of gone 10 minutes. I mean, Kashiwa haven't really pushed on though, and they could probably do with, you know, something else to push at that. Jubilee Wata are coming back at them for the last few minutes. It's still predominantly been Consadole pushing for the winner. Shimizu coming back at them there though as well. Gishiwa, so they've gone with Aoki coming on. Hiroshima into injury time, still 0-0. Been a very dour affair there. We have a late goal in the Yokohama Sarazo game, and it's come against the run of play, 90th minute, and it looks as though Um, yeah, I agree with you. It looks as though we are late drama. Let's see if we can find out anything about the goal. Anybody watching the Yokohama game? Um, is it possible that Shindo's got a second? No, that's not him claiming it. Guess we'll find out in a minute or two. It's half time in the Nagoya Kobe game. And it's Kiyotaki. I did look at him. I did look at him as well yesterday. And he has got the equaliser in the 90th minute for them. That's when, wow, against the run of play. I mean, look at that domination. 5 minutes added on. Kiyotaki header, yeah. Awesome stuff. Away from home as well, wow. What am I getting now? That's Sky Sports telling me nonsense about curling. Okay. It looks like Shimizu being on the applying the pressure there. Jubilo still pushing for the equaliser late on as well. God, nobody wants to win this game. They seem to be very happy to take a point each in the Hiroshima Sagantoso game, aren't they? How much are look at that? The pressure's been on relentlessly from Urawa. That would be a shame if they didn't hold on. That would be a fantastic opening day win for them. Gamba. There's been no way back for Gamba, has there really? Suzuki's gone off on an 8.6. That's quite the score. Now, can Osaka see it out? Can they see it out? That's got to be pushing half time. Yeah, 3 minutes added on. There's over 3 minutes played. 3 minutes added on in the Constable game as well. What are we getting now? We're getting the full. That's a half time. Shonen 0, Kashiwa 0. I think we'll see Kashiwa make a couple of changes at the half there. Yeah, I've dropped well at the prizes, which is what it is. Unless we get a late goal, that has dropped out the prizes. Bit unfortunate, but hey, it's been quite exciting to be fair. Kuroki did get 45 points, so that could have been a difference maker. That would have been 21 points more, but it probably still wouldn't have been enough in the end. The clean sheet would have been the difference. That looks like it for the late drama, unless anything else could happen. It looks like we're heading towards full time in all these games, and not an awful lot to write home about. Half time with Nagoya and Vissel Kobe as well. Must have missed that 1-0 at the half. How's the two sides fared? Yeah, you can see a few boys there having a couple of low scores. But yeah, I can only imagine the pressure Yokohama must be pushing on. Yep, 0-0 it's finished with Hiroshima and Sagantosu. It didn't look like anybody wanted to win that, just looking at the stats. And it looks like it's gone 0-0, 1-1 full time in with the Shimizu and Consadole game. That's a shame. That is a shame, but I'm quite pleased to be fair. I'm glad that they all played. I'm glad that I've picked up Kuroki. I'm able to move on from that, so that's good. I think I'll have a wee evaluation of the squad over the week and see where we're at. Kyoto hanging on, really hanging on. Kashima, yeah, they made their home and dry. Are Osaka going to hang on? 5 minutes added on, and what will be 4 minutes 40 into that currently. Sofa score, so we're very close to the end of that game there as well. Once again, thank you to everybody that's actually come on this morning. It's been fun. It's been fun. I don't know that I could stretch 2 games out to make it worthwhile, but we'll, I think for a first experiment, I think this has been. I would say it's been successful. I'm glad people have come on and taken part and had a wee chat and things like that in it with our fellow Sorare fans and what have you. We'll just see these last 4 games out to the full time, and then I'll probably call it about 8 o'clock here, 7 o'clock UK time. Oh, late drama. We have an equaliser by the looks of things from Jubilo Iwata. Huge drama. Last minute equaliser. Wow. That's going to be a painful one for Avispa. Who are we looking at as the goal scorer? Because they've subbed off half their team. Clicking through to see if there's any sign of the goal. Oh, there we go. It was Rio Germain. Rio Germain with the goal. And he does have cards from Yokohama days. I had a look at him. His price was a wee bit of duff. If it'll bother to load. I didn't fancy him being the starter. Yeah, 0.075. He's got his first goal there. So that's quite impressive. We're just getting full times coming through now. It's finished. Gamba Osaka 1, Kashima 3. That Avispa goal there. Cereswo did hang on at the end there as well. So there was some late drama. We did get a wee bit of a wee bit of excitement towards the end of the games there. Kyoto are still hanging on there. Just waiting on that one going full time and waiting on. So it's the two new boys. I would definitely say that the Kyoto score was probably an upset. I don't see why you wouldn't say that was an upset. Yep, and it's finished Kyoto 1, Urawa 0. That's got to be the scoreline of the weekend, you would imagine. And will Iwata hold on? They had all the pressure going into the last 10, clearly. But yeah,